Well, good morning everyone, and welcome to another adventure with Luke and Jeff in the outdoors. So we're at the Buck and Bass Ranch today. It's the archery opener, so we're looking forward to a little whitetail hunting. Feeders will go off here shortly, so we're just going to kind of sit tight. Our good buddy Luke is on his way to New Mexico visiting David Williams and Hunter Supply. He's doing a mule deer hunt. Muzzleloader season has just got underway, so good luck to you out there, Luke. We're going to see if we can't bring down a whitetail here at the Buck and Bass Ranch for you folks. So stay tuned. We'll be back. All right, folks, we're back on the ground here. We put an arrow in a hog. Saw some deer, kind of early, but they came in. So anyway, having a good time here. Let's go see if we can't find a hog. Well, we'll start with a quick look underneath the feeder. No arrow to be seen. So he headed off that direction. Let's go see what we can find here. I'm going to kind of keep an eye out for either blood or an arrow. Well, folks, we've been at it about an hour. I can't find the arrow. I can't find any blood. I know which direction they went, so now it's time. I tried to go down the trails I thought they were running, but no such luck. So now it's time to start sweeping side by side. So an hour into it, hopefully it won't take another hour. Let's hope we find it. All right, stick with me. We'll be back. Well, this is about the spot where he was moaning, right in this area somewhere. No blood. No arrow. Not a way to start the opener for a whitetail. It's only a hog, but it's a hog. It's pork. Oh, well, I'll just stick with it. Okay, well, back at it. Gotta be around here somewhere. Well, I have been looking for well over an hour for any sign of that hog, and I finally, 1 hour later, or probably better, we found blood. Alright, we're going to stick with it. Well, folks, we're on a good blood trail here. We've been following it for probably 30 minutes. Bleeding pretty good, but anyway, I've made it to one of the main roads here at the ranch, and so what we're going to do, since we've given it a half hour, or been pushing them for a half hour, we're going to take a break and come back. I just put that leaf up on that piece of grass there just so I have a marker. I'll come back and we'll pick up the trail from here. So we'll be back in a bit, folks. I got to go hydrate. Well, folks, welcome back. We've had a chance to hydrate. We've given it probably 45 minutes. We've taken the buggy down here, and of course this palmetto, as you see right here, there's blood on it actually. So he went right on through that way. We've been trailing him for a while. I'm guessing the arrow broke off inside of him. I never did find the arrow, but it took us a while just to find a blood trail. So once you're on the blood trail, folks, one thing to always remember is stay on the blood trail. Unless you lose the blood trail, then you got to do the zigzag thing. But in this particular case, we were on it, we found it, and we're staying on it. So hang tight. Let's go see what we can find. Well, folks, we've been going a while here, following blood, and just found that. So, yep, that's a good sign. Okay, let's stick with it. We'll just, again, stay on the blood trail. Well, folks, I've been about 25 yards beyond where I found the arrow broke off. And this is the spot where blood dries up. I cannot find a drop of blood anywhere. So I think that arrow coming out was not a good thing. So, darn it. Now it's time to zigzag a little bit. I think it's thick straight ahead, so I got a sneaking suspicion he's in there, and I'll go look. But I've been looking for, geez, probably close to 2 hours now. It's getting warm out here. All right, well, hopefully we'll have a little luck. We'll be back. Well, folks, welcome back. As you can see, I found my way to a little mud hole that's way back in here, the direction this hog was going. We lost that blood trail back 50 yards. That arrow came out, and once that does, sometimes the hole starts to coagulate. And the broadhead, I think, is still down inside him. Even though I thought it was a good shot, you know, sometimes it just happens. Oh well. You know, it's all about having a good time, really. You owe it to the game to make the best shot you can. In this particular case, I thought I did, but no such luck. So, well, this is the opener of Texas archery whitetail season, and we got more hunting to do. Let's go ahead and take a commercial break here, and we'll come back for some more exciting action here on Luke and Jeff Outdoors. Well, welcome back, folks. We are day 2 of the Texas archery whitetail season, and we're not hunting. We're actually out here going to put a food plot in. So just kind of wanted to go over this real quick with you guys, and maybe share a little of what I do here. Maybe it'll help you guys. So as you can see here, we've got a ground blind straight in the back. We've got a ladder stand to the right there a little bit. I'm going to spin the camera here. You can see we've got a feeder set up. And this is actually where I actually saw the deer yesterday and shot the hog. So anyway, we've got our disc in here. We disked this thing up a little bit, kind of got her ready to go. So we've roughed the ground up. We're going to put some seed down, and we are going to have a food plot. Okay, one of the easiest ways to put this seed down is with an electric little handheld unit. You can just touch it there and then drop the seed. So we're going to get this thing seeded here, and we'll be all set for the season. And as you see, to finish off our setup, we put in a mineral rock right here along the edge of the food plot. So food plot's in, we are set to go. Hopefully in 30 days or so, we'll have some good growth. So we're off now. We got 2 other food plots to do, and call it a weekend. Okay, back to work. Okay, and here we've chosen another little open area in and amongst a bunch of hardwoods that we've been doing this for a number of years now, plowing this area out and seeding it as well. And it's places like these that really will draw deer from all over. I mean, when it gets to the point where they're not hitting feeders, you know where they're going to be. They're going to be in here hitting these food plots. Okay, well, we have completed field plot number 2. You might consider putting a food plot like this in, because it really does attract deer. So as you can see, kind of show you my setup here, but we've got one ladder stand, probably 18 yards in from the edge of the food plot, and then we've got another one about the same on the other side. So gives us a good ability to cover this, and depending upon the wind, you can pick the appropriate stand and make it happen. So all right, we are on to food plot number 3. Okay, folks, we're back. Food plot number 3. So we're going to get out here and get this thing seeded. As you can see, just finding little clearings in an open area through hardwoods, and have the ability to clean this stuff up. Again, it's been a few years we've been doing this, but we just get in here, we till it a little bit, throw some seed on the ground, and usually we'll have a lot of deer coming into the area. So get yourself something set up like this. This works very well. So we got to get back at it here. It's starting to get warm. Another tip, hydrate. So you're out here working like this, it gets hot, but you need to hydrate. All right, I got some work to do. Well, that wraps it up for me today, folks. Food plot number 3 is in, and we are set. So hopefully we'll have a little bit of good deer hunting later this fall. As you can see, we got a pop-up line down yonder. And of course, I don't know if you can see in the tree, we got a ladder stand there is our setup, and that would be for winds out of the south. And then we've got the food plot here. Now we got the sun coming out here, but we've got a stand right there as well. So, all right, folks, we're back. Let's check in with Luke. I think he's got some recipes cooking up here, some good stuff. So, Luke, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, folks, I think I've got everything we need to make some of the most scrumptious Mexican cornbread, we'll call it, that you can imagine. One of the key elements is some good ground meat. Now this is ground pork, actually the shoulder. Now, you might remember a couple of weeks ago the little hog that I shot down at the Buck and Bass Ranch with my bow. Well, this is some ground meat from that. So with onion, we put one big onion in here, fried this up, and we'll just reserve this. Put it down. This is going to be kind of the center of our Mexican cornbread. Now, I went ahead and mixed up 3 packets of cornbread mix. About the right consistency. You want it a little bit where it's the viscosity on it here is a little bit thin, where it'll spread really good. So what we're going to do, we've got our skillet here, I think this is about a 10-inch skillet, cast iron skillet. We're going to put about half of this cornbread mix, I should say, in the skillet. So let's just start by doing that. About half of it, and then what you do is just kind of spoon it around. I'll show you a close-up of this in a little bit. But you spoon it around so it's covered the bottom of the skillet really good. Now then, so we'll put that aside. Now let's take what we want to do is layer this. You know, have the cornbread on the bottom here, and then put a layer of all the ingredients, and then we'll put the cornbread mix on top, and it'll be kind of sandwiched in. Here's our meat. I'll give you a close-up of this later, but that's our ground pork. And like I say, you can use hamburger, whatever there. Just spoon that around over the whole mix. Don't have to be real fancy with it, just get it all spread around there. And you got your cornbread on the bottom now, remember that. Okay, now, here's a can of just regular old cream style corn right here. Buy it anywhere, any kind of cream style corn. I use cream style so that it's a little more moisture in the cream style than in the regular whole kernel. So let's put a whole can of cream style corn in here. And then we'll you can't see this, but I'm spreading it around. I'm going to show you a close-up of this. So the cream style corn is on top of the meat. Now, here's what makes it good. This is some jalapenos, kind of mild jalapenos that I grew. Oh, it's about 6 or 8 of them chopped up. So let's sprinkle them around liberally. Okay, oh, this is already looking good. Now, cheese, grated cheese. Let's get you a little packet of cheese, whatever type you like. And this is Brookshire's shredded mild cheddar cheese right here. Put the whole bag in there. And you want to just sprinkle that all over. Mix it in there real good. I'm going to show you a close-up, I promise. You're wanting to see what this is looking like. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at it right now at this stage. Okay, folks, that's what we have so far. We've got it all mixed up, and then basically we're just going to put the cornbread mix on top of that, and you can see how it will actually sandwich all these flavors together, you'll have cornbread on the bottom, cornbread on the top, and the jalapenos, the onion, the cheese, you know, everything, and the corn, all that'll be right in the middle of it. So let me go ahead and put the top on this thing, and then we'll take a look at that. Then we'll put it in the oven about 400 degrees for about 25 minutes. And we'll serve this with some of these beans that we've got cooked up. Okay, folks, here is our Mexican cornbread. You can see the mix is kind of runny a little bit. That's the way I wanted it on top. And you can see the cheese, and if you look really close, you can see the jalapenos and maybe the bits of onion and all the goodness. The corn is in the middle there. So we're going to put this in the oven for about 400 degrees for roughly 25 minutes, something like that. I'll check it. And then we're going to have some really, really tasty, really this is a meal in itself, but I've already got these beans cooked right here. Good old cast iron pot full of pinto beans cooked down with a little ham hock in them. Served together, folks, this is going to be good. So I'll come back in just a bit after this spends its time in the oven. We'll give you a closer look. Well, folks, as Mr. Paul Harvey used to say, here is the rest of the story. Some good old pinto beans, and that's a good thick juice on those beans. And here's our camp cornbread, Mexican style. I don't know if you'll ever find a recipe just like this in a recipe book, but it's pretty simple, easy to make. The only question you have to decide if you want to eat these beans on the side or just take some of this cornbread with all these good ingredients and mix it with the beans. Folks, I hope you've enjoyed watching today's show. Do remember catfishradio.org. You can go there and listen to the hour-long hunting and fishing show that we do each week. Till this time next week, be safe in the outdoors.